district office in Roseville. And so one of the things that I did was I took my reserve agents and my actual agents out, and we would target an area. I use one of the examples here, it's really simple. A lot of times people don't know how to canvass, and it's a challenge. So what you do is figure out where your office is going to be, primarily your location. So let's just say here's, let's do a little script. Okay. Let's say here. Okay. So, say you live over in this section. What you want to do is you want to basically take a radius of a 3-mile radius around. It's easier. And then you square off that area. Use a different mark on that. Square off that area like this. And then you're going to cut it into 9 segments. And you say, why 9? Well, there's a forward thought in this, because where we were trained this, eventually someday you're going to have a producer, or for us we're going to have a representative working with us. All the leads that you generate from all your hard work, eventually you're going to have those warm leads and you're going to hand them off to your producer, because now they can go back to that home and basically build that relationship knowing that it's from your agency. So what you'll do is you'll mark it off: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I. Alright. And what I used to do is I used to target this area, like I'd start with A, and I would segment it out into 4 quarters. And take a notebook. And I'd say, okay, I'm going to visit all the homes in that area. And when I said visit, we had to visit 25, we had to have 25 contacts per day. Alright, so that means on average per day, in order for me to get real people, not just, and I had to have the full name, number, email address. Okay, it's hard, but I had to travel between 185 to 200 homes a day just to get 25 people that would say, hey, I'm interested, share with me some information regarding financial services. I would gather about 500 contacts per month, and here's the irony of it. About 3% of those people that I came across asked me if I did home and auto. And I sat there, I was kicking myself. I said, oh, I'm going to miss out on that market. But that's the opportunity. And I took a new agent with me, a reserve agent, and we went out, and I was just making an example of this. It was very easy. We went out, I took one side of the street, I asked him to take the other side. Okay, it was his coaching and learning experience for both of us. After about an hour and a half, I came back with 16 leads. Okay. And he came back basically with 1, because of the fact is there's certain things that we have to ask that create that yes answer at the door. You have to get them to say yes. Okay, so rule of thumb, do not say, I can tell you. Don't ever say that. They don't want to hear that. Okay. Number 2, look for something that would benefit them. So my catchphrase was, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, if I come across something that can I keep you informed? And that was it. And they would respond yes, because I'm not threatening them. I'm just asking them if I come across something, I can share it with you. They'll take it in. And I did that financial services also. That worked out really well. So follow-up was the second biggest thing, because those 16 leads that I gave to the young man, he didn't do the follow-up on it. So they all went to the wayside. But that being said, once you cordon these off and you're done with one area, you'll have a notebook. And in the notebook, you'll list down the street addresses. So what you want to do is you want to get basically a prospecting sheet that lists 25 on there. So that way you can write those contacts in. And you can do it on an Excel spreadsheet. Just make sure you put the name, actually leave 1 space blank for the street number or the house number. Okay. The next one, get their name, phone number, email address, and a little note. And on the top of the sheet, which is really crucial, is that you list down the street that you're going down, and then the city you're in and the zip code. Because it's gonna, you know, it's gonna play out later on, and then it's up, because it's on Excel, you can download it into your Sims. And then you can start marketing it when you build up your pipeline. So that's a very useful tool. So you'll have 4 segments here, then 4 segments here. Like I said, there's about 500 contacts per month. You can do more. I've seen it with insurance. You can do, I mean, you can go 30, 40 contacts per day because it's something that's constantly brought up. You can even do life, and one of my favorite things is life insurance, because this works in the whole community. And I came up with this idea when I was in California that I would create a life flyer like this, and here I'll give this to you. You have to share this. I only brought 5 of these here.
You get some print. Here, I'll get some print off.
Okay. Alright. And so, notice on the back of this life flyer, it's a local business. This is actually being used now with one of my platform agents. Okay. And what I did was, I would take this life flyer and I would go to the local business and I'd say, hey, would you like some free advertising? They looked at me like I was cockeyed. What do you mean free? Nothing's free. I said, no, I want free advertising because, you know, we believe, and this is what you have to say, we believe that life is important. And we know that the small business is the life of the community. So we would like to partner with you and, you know, ask that you sponsor our life program. And then and at the same time, we will give you free advertising. Because we're going to travel between 150 to 200 homes a day, handing these flyers off, talking to people at their homes. Would you be interested? Not one of these people on here, I mean, I have more than this, said no. Right? So here's the twofold thing. Here's the interesting part of this marketing plan. Once you get the sponsorship of the local communities over here, then you can go residential. Because then you knock on the door and say, hi, Apple Farmers Insurance, and we're having a life promo. And it's sponsored by your local businesses in the area. Do you have life? Dun, dun, dun. Simple, right? But then it's a twofold, it's a double edge, because it benefits you in the business side. Because now you have these businesses on the back supporting you, right? You ask them, you have a Facebook page. Could you like me, or would you advertise on my Facebook page to know that we're partnering together for life? So you incorporate them into your Facebook page as a life. So as you develop that, then you start networking with those local businesses because they now know you. And you can do events with each other. You can have potlucks together for the community. You can do whatever you need to do to sponsor that. And then you can set up your booths or whatever you have to do in order to create that, you know, that marketing, that network marketing. But the whole thing is, you know, if you're going to basically look at the live portion, it makes it so much easier to go to the doorstep, knock on the door when you have the backing of the community and all the local businesses. So one of the favorite things, like I said, I would go to them and ask them a question, basically, we're having that live promo. And I would ask them, do they have life? And majority of this, yeah, I usually have it, or I have it at work. Then you have to ask them, hey, what would happen if you quit? Or you get laid off? Would that go with you? Can you roll it? No. Well, I'll tell you what, if I come across something that might benefit you, can I keep you informed? That's a yes. That's not a no question. That's a yes question. You're getting that yes response from me. Yeah, so, any questions on this?
What color did you do? I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I have here the color that I created. This is actually, it's a knockoff. There's 4 series of these. So there's one for your younger couples, right, who are just starting out families. Then I got the one for the simple on there also, and then I got the older families with universal, and then and I did a one with the annuities. but it's a way to get out there. And this I took from Farmer's postcard. I just took the postcard and I said, hey, I'm just gonna blow it up. And I'll change it, I'll recreate it, and I have some I put for multicultural world, so I put different faces on there. And you can do that on your own, you can create this, it's not rocket science. But the whole idea is to get your businesses involved, because that opens up the door, and then you can start hanging like flyers in the local businesses, and you can put their, I mean, if you wanna work with it, you can put their stuff on the front and your stuff on the back, because they're more than happy to advertise, and they don't have to pay for it.